Before going big, you need to start small. You don't need thousands of dollars in your bank account to start improving your financial situation. The changes start daily with small improvements that put you on the right path. Today, we'll go through some of those small improvements that you can start to implement right away in this moment. We hope this video brings you value, and we'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to ALUX in return. It means a lot for us to have your support. With all that said, here are 15 small financial improvements to start with. Number 1. Know where your money goes. You might know exactly where each cent is going every month, but you'd be surprised at how many people struggling financially have no idea where their money goes. A small, inconspicuous amount is debited each month with some obscure reference, but it's only a small amount, so you don't bother following up. But small amounts add up to large amounts, and by keeping an eye on where your small amounts are going, could save you a lot of green every year. Number 2. Pay for and buy everything you need at the beginning of the month. All of your bills, groceries, miscellaneous items, everything you need each month. This helps you to have a clearer idea of how much your basic monthly needs actually cost. Take advantage of bulk deals and ensure you're covering your basic needs first before spending on extra shit. Number 3. Don't tell yourself that you're bad with money. Hey Luxers, we're all guilty of this. We tell ourselves that we suck at money, which is why we've literally released a video called 15 Signs You Suck at Money and What to Do About It. Your feedback on the video has been brilliant, with so many acknowledging that it's exactly about you. One of the key takeaways is to stop telling yourself that you suck at money, because like any skill, being financially savvy can be learned, and the first step is to change your mindset. So change your rhetoric and then start making the changes to start improving financially. Number 4. Familiarize yourself with financial tools. We're talking about everything, from how taxes work, how interest works, how capital works, and so on. Even a basic understanding of these tools and how to negotiate them can make a huge difference for you in the long run. And even if you're not using them right now, be aware of how they'll work to put you in a better spot to make better decisions down the line. Number 5. Save with a purpose. Saving money for the sake of saving money is actually pretty bad. For one, opportunity cost, meaning what you could have made with that money instead. And secondly, you'll lose money in the long run due to inflation. If you have $100K in your bank account right now and you leave it there for the next 20 years, that $100K will have lesser buying power due to inflation. Banks always offer low interest rates compared to inflation. This is also the reason why we advise getting familiar with financial tools. So saving money for the long run or for retirement is a bad plan. But does that mean that saving is a bad habit? Well, no, obviously not, but you need to save with a purpose. For example, saving money for a couple of years to be able to provide a down payment for a house is a good plan. Saving money for an emergency situation, also a good plan. But always have a plan for the money. Get into the habit of saving, regardless of your income. If you can't save $10 when you're making $100, you won't be able to save $100 when you're making $1,000.
Simple way to introduce minimalism into your home is to think about your surfaces as spaces that can be mostly clear. When I was growing up, my mom had this rule where we couldn't have more than 3 things on our surface if we wanted our room to be considered clean, and that is something that her mom passed down to her. Now, I thought that this was austere when it was first introduced to me, but I have to say, the more you are deliberate about what you put on any particular surface, the nicer your place will look. Because it doesn't necessarily mean, just because you have an empty surface, that you need to fill it up with things. That look might make sense for some people, but if you are trying to bring minimalism into your life, less and well curated is definitely more. I first learned about buy nothing groups in Real Simple magazine. They had an article about it, and I was obsessed with the concept. So the way it works is like this. You go on Facebook, you type in buy nothing group for your area, and something should pop up because they are all over the world. And the way they function is like this. You go on the group, if you have something that you want to get rid of, you post it up, obviously not garbage, like a good thing. And then if somebody needs something, they can pick it up from you free of charge, and vice versa. If there's something that you need, you can actually just post it up on the buy nothing group. And if someone has it, they can give it to you. You can just go and pick it up. I love this for so many reasons. Not only does it build community, but it also helps to repurpose or give items a second life that would otherwise be collecting dust in your home. Now, this brings me to a question that I have, because I'm a big fan of upcycling and sort of keeping things out of the waste stream. Incorporate that into your life and into your family or your community, because I'm really into this idea and I'd love to share more with you if you guys are interested, so let me know. I have never been one of those people that has felt an affinity for budgeting. I don't love math, I don't love accounting, but I've got to say that keeping an eye on your budget really does help minimize your spending on unimportant things. And the more that you can pay attention to where your money is going every month, the more you'll start to see where you're actually wasting money. This is a little bit of a slap in the face at first. For me, I actually spend a lot of money on food, like takeout food or, food that I buy with all of the intent of cooking up a beautiful recipe, and then time runs out and I can't make it anymore. I waste a lot of money on food. That's what I'm trying to say. So whether it's food or whether it's household decor or clothing, if you start to parse through your spending every month, credit card or debit statements, and you see where your money's going, you can start to tweak how much money you budget or allow yourself to spend on those items every month. Actually, Chad and I are working on a budget this month, which feels overwhelming, but it feels like the right thing to do. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to get better at saving our money and actually using it toward long-term goals. So if you're someone who kind of spends a lot, but you really enjoy spending, maybe reconsider your budget, and then also start to think about enjoying saving. And start doing some math, crunching some numbers, and see what perhaps instead of spending $100 a month on frivolous items would add up to in 5 or 10 years from now if it was invested. Whether it's for you or for someone else, think about spending your money in terms of buying experiences and collecting those, rather than buying things which can or cannot work out for you. You might buy something that sits there and collects dust or, outlives its useful life fairly quickly, whereas an experience is a memory that will last a lifetime and can open you up to new perspectives and can also challenge you to do new things. I'll give you a couple of examples. My mom was all into experiences for birthdays. So one year, she took my sister and I for scuba diving lessons, which, I'm not a daredevil by any sense, and I would think scuba diving would be very overwhelming, but it pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I became a certified deep diver, so I will be forever grateful for that gift. And another one that she did for us, one year she took us on a hot air balloon ride, so we went all the way down and then we went all the way up. And that was so scary, but it was also an incredible experience. And had my mom just said, I'm gonna buy you that shirt that you wanted, that shirt would have come and gone, but that experience is in my head and my heart and will last me for a lifetime and really pushed me out of my comfort zone. And things that push me out of my comfort zone are priceless. I was thinking through how I spent many of my weekends as a young girl and a teenager growing up, and even how Chad and I would spend time before Riley was born. And that was at a mall. It was at a mall. It's so embarrassing to say. I can't even say it with a straight face. I was a legit mall rat when I grew up. And Chad and I really enjoyed just going to a mall and walking around. And inevitably, we'd always end up picking something up that we thought we needed and we'd bring it home. And setting up your social life around consumption feels fun, but also we're told that it's fun, right? But there are so many other ways that you can spend quality time with people that actually don't involve being at a shopping place. Now, all that to say, I can't imagine anytime soon we'll all be hanging out at malls and shopping, but either way, even when things do open back up, or as you go through life and kind of consider the way you want to spend your time with the people you love, try to take consumption out of the picture. If you've watched any Clean My Space videos before, you probably know that I am someone who will be the first to tell you when I think you should spend good money on a really important thing. And I will also be the first person to tell you when you do not need to spend money and when you can make your own thing. And I actually firmly believe that cleaning is one of those spaces where we don't have to go out and buy a ton of stuff. In fact, that's a big mistake I see people make. They run out to the cleaning aisle and they're stocking themselves up with every single product. And the truth of the matter is, you know from watching Clean My Space videos, you don't need a lot to accomplish an amazing clean in your home. So I'm a big proponent of making what you can, where you can, saving money, space, and things that way, and upcycling where it makes sense. And that way you have more resource, more budget to actually go out and buy the stuff that you really do need